KnifeDope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a fresh batch of dope. KnifeDope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Check out this this recent mod that I just did off camera. This is the Vero Synapse. They had just dropped some new scale inlays for the Synapse, which in my opinion is their best knife in their catalog. Big shout out to the Queen for the recommendation on that. But they came out with some titanium inlays. They had a couple of different options. I really wanted the Stonewash set because I would have liked a uniform look of titanium. But all they had were these black wash ones left. The rest of them were sold out. So I pulled the trigger on it. They were only like 62 bucks. Now, it doesn't really look much different than my original configuration. I had these end cut carbon fiber inlays done, or rather that's what I had on the knife prior to that. So it looks identical, but the feels got a little bit more weight to it, and acoustically it's a little bit, a little bit more of a solid titanium sound. But yeah, that is a mod update on that one. But that's not what we're here to talk about, people. Not at all. Got two new acquisitions, one from the secondary, and then I got one from White Mountain Knives. And then after I do this video, bro, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I've got fucking 3 USA-made bangers, goddammit, heaters that I'm going to be doing a video on. Especially considering that tomorrow is going to be President's Day. I think it's fitting. But I tell you, I'm excited about these goddamn knives. So without further ado, let's get to the dope. Okay, before we get to this, let's go ahead and check out the secondary acquisition, or rather acquisition from the secondary market. This is a knife that I had sold, not this particular one, but this version of this knife I sold, I think in November or December of last year. And immediately upon selling it, I knew I fucked up. I knew that I was going to regret that. But, I think a lot of times when I sell knives to people, and maybe I'm wrong for this, but like when I know someone's really trying to hunt something and they really want to experience it, and I've had it for a while and maybe I'm not carrying it as often as I would like to, I I sell it because I'm like, man, these people need to experience it, And then I always regret it. Always end up trying to find it again. This one was a hard time though, because this is not one that is easily found. As a matter of fact, I only found one person who was willing to sell it, who I even knew had it, and that was Casey from Knives Fast. So big shout out to him for allowing me to purchase this. This is an Artisan, and this one is the Blade HQ exclusive Arian. God damn, look at that show side scale. We've got like an Arctic fat carbon is what I'm going with, something like that. Stunning. We do have that elongated pill-shaped hole for your cutout, or rather cutout for your deployment. This one, this is a pre-owned knife, so, he was fully transparent in telling me that it had a few snail trails, notably right here on the pocket clip. And then we also had it... couple of snail trails there on the actual lock bar and whatnot. Look at that finger. That's a blunt residue finger. But let's go ahead and deploy the knife. There it goes. Same great D10 I had on mine. This one might even be a little bit more snappy. Mine was a little bit more mild. But we got that gorgeous drop point blade here in S35 VN. Bead blast finish. My main reason for wanting to add this back to the collection, this is a Cerberus design. This was actually the first Cerberus design I had ever experienced, and I love it. Really digging what Cerberus Knives does. I've got a few sets of his scales, and now this is going to be the second collaboration of his with Artisan that I have in the collection. So, yep, she's back in the collection, people, and the bitch ain't going nowhere. I promise you. At least for now, goddammit. Okay, The hits don't stop. We got another one from Artisan. Like I mentioned, this one was purchased from White Mountain Knives. You can go there yourself. Just be sure to use code KnifeDope for 10% off that purchase. Now, this one came in at $199. I tell you, I think for that price point, the $199 price point, I have to say, man, I think Artisan is got some of the best designs, especially as of late. This one is called, I believe it's called the Weeden, something like that. So this is actually a Nick Rogers design. If you're not familiar with Nick Rogers is, do your goddamn homework. But here she goes. Now, I'm going to tell you, I kind of hesitated on buying this. It wasn't until a knife bro of mine, Mr. Charles, a.k.a. Pocket Slicer, got one. He sent me like a little personal video on it that I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger. He waxed poetic about it, that it was a great knife, and I trust what he says. So I decided to give it a shot. We've got single form of deployment. That was probably my biggest deterrent for a while, was that. But if you look here, hold up. We got a nice, very attractive Zircuti shield inlay on the show side scale. Deeper, I just also had another recent Artisan knife that I bought, which was the Satyr, which had similar milling pattern, but this is deeper. It feels very nice on the finger. Diagonal milling going on there, like kind of the middle of the scale, and that is on both sides of the knife. So what they do is they have a nice chamfer going around, and they put that milling pattern in the middle. It gives like a little traditional vibe to it. Same pattern on the lock side as well as that pocket clip. We've got almost a full-length back spacer that stands just ever so slightly proud over the actual spine. Now back to the deployment. We've got a top/front flipper for your deployment. Let's go ahead and check it out. Woo! D10 is dialed the fuck in. Look at that blade shape. We're going to go with like a harpoon drop point blade shape. Gorgeous, gorgeous shape. We've got 7.3 inches as far as overall length. This is a frame lock apparatus. Now, the real star of the show is the 3.2-inch blade here in CPM S90V. Steel of the gods. Artisan logo here on the show side of the knife in the corner. And then lock side, we got the blade steel. And then I believe that's got to be Nick Rogers' maker's mark. Now, frame lock mechanism on this, they did not give us ample access to that lock bar. Now, they did a fantastic job with a little baby chamfer with some nice milling. But I tell you, you got to fucking go around the corner and jam your thumb in there because they did not pull that show side scale back a little bit. I don't like that, but it is what it is. Disengagement, not as enjoyable as I'd like it to be, but, I guess for the meantime, I can make it work. Snappy D10, she is dialed the fucking tuned to perfection. Nice little sharpening choil added there, so you got some sharpening life. I think the weight on this is coming in at 3.4 ounces. We've got 130 thousandths for our blade stock thickness. Nice high flat grind. Love that swedge there on the spine of the blade. Would have loved a full flat though, to be honest with you. But, S90V, it should do just fine. So let's go ahead now. We'll also point out this one has that sand polish finish, which Artisan has kind of been known for as of late. Beautiful finish, but it is a goddamn fingerprint magnet. So there's that, and you know how I feel. I'm at war. The same way I'm at war with these fucking lanyard people, I'm at war with these goddamn fingerprints. Now let's go ahead and put up a couple of knives for some size comparison. Basically, a little bit of knife flexing. You know how the fuck I do. Gotta roll with America first. We're gonna start out like this. The Spyderco GP Knives exclusive Manix 2 lightweight rendition. So here you see that. As a matter of fact, this is the knife that I ordered, those original GOAT scales, lightweight conversion scales. Be sure to check out what they got going on over there at originalgoat.com and use code FUCKER for 15% off your purchase. All right, more American dope for your palate. We've got one of my favorite pickups this year, which is that Spyderco Micro Jimbo. So the Weeden is bigger than both of these. Let's do a couple more, shall we? How about one of my favorite purchases last year, which is this one? The Bridgeport Knife Company $395, baby. Version 2. Don't get it fucked up. How about the unofficial overseas knife of the channel? You've seen her before. You know her goddamn name. We're going to go with the CJRB Echo. And so the Weeden is smaller than that. Let's do 2 more. God damn it, 2 more. Another recent acquisition. We're going to go with this one. The Wee Cubit. Last but certainly not least, more artisan vibes. We're going to go with the Satyr, which is also a Cerberus Knives design. And the Weeden is smaller than that. Yeah, people. I'm on my, definitely on my artisan shit here recently. I just like what they're giving us for the price point, you know. I have gotten, you know, I wouldn't say bougie, but my tastes have changed since I've been collecting in the serious, you know, in the fast lane, so to speak. My tastes have changed, you know. I used to get so much enjoyment from sub $100 knives, but then once you start tasting premium shit, it just changes you as a man, goddammit, as a collector. And it changed me. But I think that, you know, at the $200 price point, which is kind of borderline, is, you know, sometimes it doesn't make sense to spend the money. I think this is money well spent on these, on what Artisan has been giving us recently. So for the foreseeable future, if they keep doing what they're doing, they can get my money. But more importantly, I want to know what you fuckers think. Are you fans of this Artisan Cutlery Weeden? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time. Cut something, cut someone. Just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers!